What up YouTube, it's Misery's Company. In this video I want to talk about the Accursed Towers and why you really should not be sleeping on them, because I feel like a lot of people are. And yes, they don't give you monstrous essences, but sometimes they give you so much more, and it's really worth your time, and this should be part of your daily grind. Let's go into why right now. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and hide myself here so you can see what I'm referring to. One of the many reasons you should be doing your Accursed Towers at least every week, several times, is so that you can max out your contribution chest. Our clan does have the legendary PvP enhancement, which is the new one, which is the 10%, or I guess 10% increased life in Battleground Shadow Wars Rite of Exile Challenge of the Immortal. So we do get the opportunity of getting a legendary crest, as well as some, I guess, more rare options in this type of tower, because it is considered, again, legendary. So while the Accursed Towers don't benefit towards your upgrades when it comes to your monstrous essences, honestly, at this point, guys, once you get your monstrous essences all the way up to the 3 for the day, this is where your go-to farm spot should be. And if you're not someone who farms all 3 monstrous essences every day, you should definitely be at least farming the 1 out in the overworld and then coming in here to do the rest. Now you're going to notice the different colors on my map up on the top right of your screen, where it shows all the different colors. So the different colors are the rarity of which of the beast or the monsters you're going to be finding and how good they are. So obviously the blue is more rare than the gray, and then if you go down to the red, is when you get even more. Wow, there's a lot of rares here. You can see just how many rares you get, and this is why it is such a good farming spot, is because every rare has a good high probability of giving you an additional piece of gear that will help you with your legendary blacksmith upgrades. Now that is a massive part of the game and a massive chokehold in the game as well as a funnel point. Because even if you take a break like I did, I've been very active in this game for a long time, and I still am very far behind. At a quick little look, I'm at 19, 19, 18, 18, 19, 19, and that's not necessarily considered good by most people's, I guess, like, opinion. So in this orange section, you can see I immediately get like a ton more aggressors around me. This is the rarest area, so you do want to go to these. I think they're in opposite corners. Either I always see them sort of bottom left, and then sometimes bottom right of the map, but you want to go to these at least as much as possible on every single run, because you really do. I probably should have held off on hitting that, but you want to go ahead and hold off on missing out on these, because you do get the most shards as possible, and as well as the most elite. So right now I'm not necessarily going for shards. I don't really care for them. We already have the tower, it's ours. You don't get anything for getting more shards except for a little bit more progression on your contribution bar, but if you're going to keep running this, that doesn't matter to you. So for me, I know that I'm just going to keep running it no matter what, so that way I can get the mats that I need to go ahead and upgrade. So I'm going to go ahead and go up here, click this, and if you're not familiar with the Accursed Tower, I've already covered a video on that. I'll probably go ahead and link that at the end of this video in case you haven't seen how to efficiently get score or how they work in general. Because it is a little confusing if you're trying to farm for shards, but it's a it's a competitive PVE thing, which is always a good thing to add to the game. And look, there's so many rares here, so I'm just getting so much loot. As you can see here, I was completely empty going into this, and I already have a decent amount of fodder that I can turn into blacksmith materials to further upgrade my gear, which is what we want to do. You can see there's power-ups as well, so there's really no reason to not be in here at all. More elites, and then you also have the chance, if you were to spawn a orange elite, and it is your first orange elite of the day, it's a guaranteed cursed piece of gear. So if that is enticing to you, or if you need additional pieces, consider hitting that as well. At the first sort of round in the morning, hit a bunch of these so you can knock out that orange elite in this environment instead of in the overworld. Again, I am just going as a boss there. I haven't noticed that the boss gives me any additional. I'll go ahead and try to kill him. We should be okay. So we have this tower right next to us. Yeah, we're doing all right, but try to keep up the time. Go ahead and hit it. I'm actually going to run out of time, which is okay. Ideally, I would have been able to see if he dropped legitimate loot. I don't think I'm going to have enough time to actually beat him here. 2-1, no, but it would have been really close. I did beat him, actually. So actually, he did drop additional gear, so it is worth even to pick up the bosses once you see those as well. Going to exit out altogether to exit the bazaar. Go to the middle, the purification bazaar. All right, then you go ahead and clear it out. And we get all a bunch of additional gear here, as well as the contribution points that goes towards leveling up the contribution chest. So again, I'm going to run this just a few times because it is Sunday night, and I want to go ahead and make sure that's not where I want to go. Well, it is actually good to know I do run the Treasure Hunter Paragon tree, so that way I get the most additional loot possible. I really want to make sure I have my treasure find as much as I can, so that way I can get both legendaries as well as just normal equipment like I said, with my intent being to upgrade my legendary gear, as well as the blacksmith levels. And if I were to go over to my clan, Accursed Towers, let's see how much we got. So I was about halfway, and I already got almost a full level off that, or the other half. So I'll knock out one more run real quick and get at least the 1 of 3. I'm gonna go ahead and knock out all of them though, because I do want to make sure I get the opportunity of getting as much of this good loot as I can. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Personally, I grind this at least every week, and especially when we don't have the Monstrous Essence Towers that gives you the additional find. I usually only cap out Monstrous Essence once a day because I am a little busy, and then I come in here to grind for the rest of my time. But when we do have that tower, I will go ahead and max out my Monstrous Essence first before coming in here for grind time. Let me know what you guys do in the comments below, and until next time, lock it in.